joined here on the Dago Sports Show this week in Dago Sports High School Football Edition with head coach for the Mesa Marauders, Coach Reyes. Coach Jorge Reyes, you got your first ever high school coaching victory for the Marauders in your coaching career. Coach, what an amazing accomplishment. Congratulations. What did it feel like to get that first one out the way?
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know what? It was great. I think it was more of a reinforcement for my kids. You know what I mean? Like I've been putting them through it for 8 months, and changing the weight room life, changing the on field, all that stuff. But until you get that first win, it's kind of like, why did we do all that work for? Kind of, So
Right.
now you're able to kind of be like, that's why we did all that work. So they get a little reward, and now they have that feeling. Last year we didn't have a great year, and a lot of those kids that are on this team kind of went through that. So
Mm.
for them to kind of get this little feeling and that little itch and that sense of pride for what you've done, man, it's big. So now when we do things, they have that kind of carrot at the end. Now they know that feeling that they want to chase.
So, speaking of, the what you implemented from how it was last year to this year, you're bringing over and making a huge culture change at the Mecca, which they call Mesa High School at the Mecca in the Big
Yep.
House. Talk to us
Yeah.
about the culture change that you wanted to implement. It was a tough season last year. Coach Morales was an interim coach. God rest Coach Thompson's soul. He stepped in
Yep.
for him, but Coach Morales stepped back to his normal role, and then you were hired as a head coach. You came from a powerhouse program at Madison, CIF championship winning coach and player.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you brought a lot of that energy into the culture. Now you're the commanding officer at the Big House at Mira
Yeah.
Mesa. So why was that important to change the culture for you at Mira Mesa to start your first coaching career off?
What was important for me wasn't only for the kids and just for the school. It was also like I'm paying homage to two people. Morales for bringing me in, because he brought me in. A lot of people don't realize that. Middle of the Madison Mira Mesa game, like I had just stepped away. It was my first year away. Rick still asked me to be in the booth so I could be there Fridays. My son was one, so I was there. I was there Friday nights to help him out in the booth.
Mm,
And in the middle of the game, in the middle of warm ups, Morales, I've known him for a long time, so
yeah.
he gave me like a hug, and we were talking, and then he's like, "Hey, man, I've been thinking about making that change," and I said, "Well, I kind of left Madison with the intention of some point being a head coach, and he was
Mhm.
like, "Well, let's talk because I'm ready to, find who the next guy that's going to take it over." And then we met up and kind of had some conversations with him and Lomax, and just kind of told him like where I'm headed, how I would like to run things. And
Mhm.
it kind of fit in, and he's a longtime Mira Mesa alum. He graduated like 85 or 86 before I was even born, so uh, he's been there, man. He's been there for so long. He hasn't had the he's been through it all there. You know what I mean? And then Thompson was his best friend, so like he needed to make sure that
Wow.
he left the program in a good standing, and that the next guy that took over, could run with it better than what Thompson kind of walked into. So they left it better than they found
Mm.
it. That's kind of their motto. And I want to make sure that everything I do, like I always reinforce through action that he made the right decision. You know, and then
So yeah, and go ahead, coach.
the other part is Rick Jackson graduated from Mira Mesa, man, and that's my mentor. That was my coach when I was in high school. That's my
Right.
dude. You know what I mean? And what a better thing to do than come to where he graduated from, where he played football, and help make a change and bring it back to the glory days. So it was just kind of like homage to both of them.
I see there's a lot of close ties between the Warhawk family and the Marauder family. Coach
Yeah,
Jackson graduated Mira Mesa, but
yeah,
coaches at Madison. You graduated from Madison, now you're at Mira Mesa. Coach
correct,
Fowler,
correct.
again. So
Yeah,
again, a lot of the people, there's a lot of love within those communities. No bad
100%.
blood at all. And now it makes sense why they always played each other almost every year.
Yeah,
And one of the things I noticed, watching the program from afar, the social media presence has has jumped immensely. The
Yeah.
new uniforms, the weight room, you guys have boosters, the your barbecue club. Like I saw the opening day video and it was a festival. The band was there. It's like you guys really have a student section, such great energy there.
Hmm.
And then to finish it off with a win for your first game.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what how the communities embraced you and with this new energy at Mira Mesa.
So Mira Mesa is a very like close community, so they've always hired the Mira Mesa guy, and I think I'm
Right.
the first non Mira Mesa guy that gets hired. So at first, and still, I still got to earn my right and still earn my stripes. So I've been, trying to do everything possible to be able to, show them that I'm here for the right reasons. Number one, I'm here for the kids. Like I want the kids to
Okay.
develop. I want the kids to get better. I want the kids to, be the best they can be and enjoy high school. It's a small percentage that's going to get to play college football. I mean, not everybody's going to get a D1 offer, and not everybody's going to be able to play college football. So, you can still build memories from your high school time, those relationships you build. And at the end of the day, it's like that step right before going into adulthood. So, how can we help you? How can I be a key piece of your development as an individual and as a human being? And everything that we're doing is just to give them that, the new uniforms, giving them that ability to come out and
Yeah,
the kids be like, Coach, what are we wearing this week? And then the
love it.
excitement of, they don't know because we don't only have one uniform. We got four uniforms. You mix and match it. You got 24, 25 different combinations. We
Right.
got two helmets. Like, little things that they enjoy, we try to do as best as possible to give it to them. And the weight room, we changed the weight room. The weight room, we there's a fire lane right outside of the weight room, and we stop there every single day. Like they don't come in
Right.
until they're ready to clock in. So they're not gonna walk
Like
through that
that.
line. They know they're not walking through that line unless I tell them, "Hey, let's go hell yeah on three. Let's go turn this thing around." And
Right.
they know that. So
Yeah.
whether it's me, whether it's Morales, whether it's Coach Marty, Coach Garcia, whoever's gonna get them in the weight room, they know they got to meet outside that red line, and once you cross that line, we on fire. You know, and it's just
Yeah.
a mentality. It's a mentality that you try to instill into them, and um, loving them, showing them that love, and
Of course.
hoping that they see that we love what they're doing, we love them as individuals, and we value them. So I think that the community will come around, and they'll
Right.
start seeing like, hey, like, oh, that first win's gonna open up some eyes. I got a lot of text messages from alumni and from community members right after that. Old coaches that coach
Mhm.
back in the day, that are like, hey, man, I'm cool. Like, you're doing some good things. Like we see it.
Right.
And I also got the
Yeah.
emails like, hey, why you looking like Mission Bay out there? You're in black and gold. And I'm
So
over here
we
like,
always going to be haters and
hey,
criticize people, of
hey,
course.
listen,
Yeah.
man. Like
Yeah.
we're just coming out. We're just trying to
Right.
let the kids have fun. We did a media day for
Yeah.
the first time. I ain't never done a media day before. The
Right.
social media presence, I don't know none about social media. I got a Twitter and a Facebook.
Right.
So I'm still learning that part. But I brought on Dante Rogers. Used to be at Patrick
Yes.
Henry. He's with me right now. He's one of my dudes, and we coached track against each other in the past. So we met a while ago, and he's been the guy in my ear, like, hey, we got to do it this way, we got to do it that way. So having somebody that knows, and then
Yes.
the edits that he drops, my president, my booster president, she
Yes.
knows how to do edits as well. She does a great job with him, so they enjoy
Yes.
that part as well. So it's just been nice,
Yeah.
to get that social media presence up.
So I can tell you were coached the old school way, like
Yeah,
I was. Went to Lincoln, graduated '94, old school. You Coach Jackson, old school.
yeah,
He's not the Coach Jackson from recent. Though I heard
yeah,
stories. Coach Jackson was a monster back in those days. But
yeah.
how important was it for you to tap in to the new age of high school football? Briefly, if you can touch on that.
You know what? There's some things that I didn't leave behind. When I played for Rick, like you weren't allowed to lay on the field during the game. Like
Oh,
you
yeah,
you better get carted off by an ambulance. Like there is no, oh, I'm cramping or all this. Nah, like the only time I remember my senior year stopping the game for an injury, and this is pre-trainers. We didn't have trainers.
yeah, right.
The kid actually got carted off. The ambulance came and
Wow,
took him. So other than that, we didn't.
wow,
So I brought a little bit of that in. Like first day of full pads, we hit.
yeah,
We didn't come in here and like put flags on and touch, two-hand touch. Like
yeah,
we
yeah.
came in
None of
here and
that
hit
soft
from day
stuff. Yeah,
one. Like I
right,
told the kids and I gave them plenty of heads up. We're gonna teach you how to tackle. We're gonna teach you how to block. We're gonna reinforce it, And the first day we can cut the dogs loose, we cut the dogs loose. You know, and
Awesome.
and I and I
Yeah.
and I wanted to reflect that on our defensive side of the ball. You know, I wanted our
Yeah.
our defensive kids to understand, like, I think that our defense is going to win the games for us. I think our defense is was going to, put that work in. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
um, I, I'm hoping that they kind of like took on a little bit of that mentality and that we can continue to build
Hmm.
that. But
Yes.
I'm out there running the scout team, man. Like I run the scout team at practice, and like today we're running up against a wing T, and our scout
Yes.
team was giving it to our defense, and I'm in there, man. Like I'm in their head. I'm talking,
Nice.
all kinds of smack, and they
Yeah.
don't like it. But it took that, and all of a sudden, man, our scout team looked at me like, Coach, what'd you do? The
Yeah. The dogs
dogs,
came
man.
on
Like
them.
the
Yes.
dogs came
Yes.
hounding.
Yeah.
We have a left tackle, D tackle that not a lot of people know about, but he's going to be a D1 guy.
Nice.
And he went in at D tackle and he said, "Coach, it's done."
Yeah.
And he
I like
shut
that.
us down by himself. And I was like, somebody,
Nice.
like three guys block him, somebody block him. And he was
Yeah.
like, "You guys wanted to talk smack? All right, here it is."
I
So it's the
I like
mentality
that.
change of it, a little bit of that old school. Um,
Yeah.
but also focusing on development and safety. Like we can't
Yeah.
change
Of
that. We
course.
still got to follow California
No.
rules.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, or you're going to get a bad email and get called into the AD's office. But so, and
Correct.
speaking of your defense, you guys pitched a shutout in your
Yeah.
first game against a tough LCAP team, the LCAP
Yes.
Vaqueros, well
Yeah.
coached, and Coach Berner. And so, what I wanted, it was 3-0 at halftime,
Mhm.
and what was your kind of quickly, like the message to your team to finish it? And then what was it like getting that last fourth quarter touchdown to seal the victory?
Man, I was trying to find a way to tell them, like, guys, you guys should be up by 24. We left
Wow.
right off
Okay.
the first play. Our quarterback overthrows our receiver down the sideline wide open. Then we came in and we're driving. Like, we played a really good special teams. Special teams is
Hmm.
underrated. People don't understand how valuable special teams are. And Coach Morales actually is our special teams coordinator. He does a hell of a
Okay.
job of making sure that everybody knows their jobs. We recovered a fumble on a punt. We were on punt and recovered a fumble. Our kickoff team did a good job rattling down the field. Our punt team put them in situations where they had to earn the field. So I went in at half, and my message to them was like, "Man, there's not a lot to say. We just are not capitalizing." And I asked the
Okay.
kids, "I was like, who wants to be famous? Like, who's
Ooh.
gonna make that play? Like, who wants to be that guy that people are like, did you see him win the game for us? Like, who's gonna be
Yeah.
make plays? Like, do you want to be famous or not? Like, who wants to be famous? I'm always telling them that, like, you don't want to be famous when you don't make a play. So you want all that hype. Like, I want the hype. Go make a play.
And
So
speaking of making a play, was Nico Cato, right? He made that
yeah,
play
man, he
and
he
put and
made
sealed
that
the
play.
victory essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like 15 tackles on defense too. Like, the dude was
So
all over
both
the
sides of the
field.
ball.
Both sides of the
There it
ball. He's
is.
only a junior. He's a
Yeah.
first year varsity starter. But he's
Okay.
one of our dogs, man. Like my 6 a.m. workouts, like we do 6 a.m.s. We do Saturday recovery.
Wow.
I brought
Wait,
in my
6 a.m. workouts, coach, before school?
yeah, man. We during the off season we do
Wow.
6 a.m. workouts, and then we try to
Impressive.
focus on like our speed and development. So
Okay.
I pick Coach Hanif. One of my close friends is Coach Hanif. So
Yeah.
I
Shout out
pick his
Coach
brain all
Hanif.
the time. I'm always picking his
Right.
brain like, Coach, how can I do this? And I'm not a speed coach, man. I'm 6'2",
Yeah.
380 pounds. Like, I ain't no speed coach.
Big dog, right.
But like I'm out there, doing what I gotta do to learn because I'm picking his brain. Like, who better to pick his brain? Like, that's the best.
Exactly.
That's the best speed coach in San Diego, hands down. So
Absolutely.
he's been helping me out. He's actually came out and did a couple little lessons with the kids
Mm,
and really kind of put in his 2 cents and kind of help them understand, like, how to do the basics. And Nico's one of those guys, man. Just 6 a.m.
yeah.
guy. He's a Saturday guy. We do recovery on Saturdays, and he's there. We do
Nice.
anything I do, he's there. So
Yeah. So, Coach Reyes, so what's one thing you want to build on going into this Friday's game against a tough Valhalla team going out East County? First road trip as a head coach, leading your team in the battle. Your team shut out a tough LCAP team. So, what are you going to do to help them stay kind of level headed so they don't overestimate
you
Valhalla
know,
going on to this
we
Friday?
we push like one of the things we tell the kids is brick by brick. So every day is a new day. We don't get caught
Right.
up on the last play. We don't get excited about the last play. We don't get demoralized by the last play. And I try to message like send that message through. It's hard. Some kids don't want to they get caught up on that last play and it takes a little bit, but that constant reinforcement of next play. It's the same thing with the games, man. It's 0-0. Like we're
Right.
looking for that 1-0 week this week. We're focused on this week. We don't talk about what's at the end of the year. We don't talk about getting anything fancy. We talk about what's next week. And right now it's
Okay.
Valhalla, and our practice. Today, just what they saw in scout, it made them open their eyes. Like, man, if our scout team can do that to us, who doesn't know that offense, who doesn't run this as their offense can do that to us, imagine somebody who practices this day in, day out. You
Right.
know, so that message to them is good. Like the kids came out, man, they're hungry today. They were pissed off that the scout team got on them, so they're not caught up on that win. They're caught up on what's
Right.
next. Like they understand that this is we're trying to build it day by day. We're trying to build day by day.
Well, I appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you for coming on the Dago Sports Show, the This Week in Dago Sports High School edition. Congratulations on your first victory as a head coach. Well deserved. The culture change is there. And one last thing, any message to the fans and alumni that may watch this or see this, or any of the youth Mira Mesa Chargers that are going to be seeing this, knowing that hey, this is what's coming for the program up at Mira Mesa.
You know what? One thing I realized, man, is how rich in athletes Mira Mesa is, man. Like how
Yeah.
many athletes have come out of the area, how many NFL guys they've had. Like, I mean, I've been coaching 15 years, two state titles, three CIF championships, and finally got our first NFL guy this year. With Josh
Right.
Simmons. So before that,
Yeah.
like, Brandon Lewis got a little shot with the Titans. Robbie got a
Yeah.
little training camp with the Browns. But man, we didn't even had like we've had some dudes, we've had some
Of course.
dudes, but
Absolutely.
like NFL is a whole different level, and this school has had nine. Like I was like, wow, and then I look at a lot of that. So my message to them is like, hey, give us a shot before you go looking somewhere else. You know what I mean? Give us a shot
Yeah.
at checking out
And
what we offer at the
stay
at
home.
the yeah. Stay home, man. Check see what modern football is all about.
Yeah. There it is, Coach. Well, best of luck throughout the season. And thank you again for your time. Much love, Coach.
I appreciate you, man. Have a good one.